Memorial World Open. Qualifying first, Gary Skidmore goes for his third win this year. Then there's Mike Albee. It's his third championship appearance in the last 4 weeks. Marshall Holman goes for his 18th career victory. Mark Roth, the PBA's new millionaire, can sew up Player of the Year honors. And Bob Learn Jr. at age 22 is in his first championship round appearance.
NBC Sports presents the PBA Fall Tour with your hosts, Jay Randolph and Earl Anthony. The PBA Fall Tour is sponsored by Budweiser. For all you do, this Bud's for you. By Brunswick Corporation, making bowling better. By Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? And by True Value Hardware Stores. We've got what it takes.
Welcome to the $150,000 Brunswick Memorial World Open from the Brunswick Northern Bowl in Glendale Heights, Illinois. A very pleasant good afternoon, everybody. Jay Randolph along with Hall of Famer Earl Anthony. We have a tremendous lineup this afternoon.
We do, Jay, and in fact, we've got 4 of the players that are still in running for Bowler of the Year, and in the number 5 position, the rookie that could be the spoiler in Bob Learn.
And we're going to see Bob Learn right now. First prize today, $27,000. Bob Learn Jr., just 22 years of age, from Erie, Pennsylvania, going up against Mark Roth. Roth, of course, the second millionaire in the PBA history, winning last week at Detroit. And Learn doesn't get them all in the first, and he sure would have liked to. 4th year on the tour for this very talented young man. He's quite an illustrator, an artist. Spends a lot of his time doing sketches and drawings of animals.
You know, what's funny, Jay, is Mark Roth, normally one of the calmest players on the tour, was so nervous he started early. He got a strike before we had a chance to mention it.
That's right.
So Mark started the match with a strike. Bob Learn has the spare, and Bob will start his second frame now. And again, this is his first opportunity to bowl on national television, and he's bowling for a major championship. He's got to be a little nervous out there.
He had a 279 high game here this week, an average 195.5 on the TV pair. Joe Norris there, just to the right of Learn, one of the all-time greats of the bowling game. And Roth opens with a double.
The power of Mark Roth, easy to see. The ball enters the pins and they explode. Mark starts with a double. Watch the power, watch the way, as we described it last week. He gets set at the line, he gets all that leg strength under him and lifts the ball well down the lane. He knows it's good.
Using 2 balls today here.
Using 2 balls, 1 for each lane. The reason is that lane 21 is not hooking as much as lane 22. So he's using a bowling ball that hooks a little more, and he's using a brand new bowling ball on lane 22 to get the ball down the lane farther. The smoother surface will help the ball skid so he can delay the hook. So he's using a new ball on 22 and an older ball or a rough or more porous surface on the ball he's using on lane 21.
Learn finds himself down 20. And that's 2 for Learn, and the lead is 10.
Watch the straight arm swing of Bob Learn. The shoulders are a little low at the foul line, and he comes up off the shot, but that's his style. It's not what I recommend, but that's Bob's style, and he's made it work very well for him. The shorter stature, he needs to get that leg strength by coming up the line to get the ball down the lane.
He really gets low, doesn't he?
He gets low, but watch him come up. See how he comes up at the foul line?
Left the 10 pin. Earl Learn wearing that wrist brace as well as an arm brace today.
Yeah, he looks like he just got out of the hospital, doesn't he?
Sure does. he made a change in his style a couple of years ago. Spins the ball more than he used to.
He's been making a lot of changes in his release. He's had trouble being consistent going across the lanes.
Roth is up by 11. We'll be back with more of the PBA Fall Tour in a moment.
This is the dawn of a new kind of automotive thinking. Forward thinking that refuses to accept the idea that anything with 4 doors is by definition boring. The result, a fuel-injected 4-door sedan that doesn't look or act like a 4-door sedan. Ford Tempo, a forward-thinking car. Have you driven the best-built American cars? Have you driven a Ford lately?
If you think bowling is still in the dark ages, think again. Introducing Brunswick's Color Vision Plus, the automatic scorer system that lets you see your scores in 7 exciting colors. See your spares, your strikes, even your turkeys flash on the overhead screen. See yourself in instant replay. See for yourself just how much more fun the sport of bowling can be with Brunswick's Color Vision Plus. Brunswick, making bowling better.
That was a great game. Hey, what do you say we grab?
Dad, we ain't that loud to eat.
Gee, I've got it. How about some...
Again? How about something different this time?
How about,
Pizza Hut! And pizza! All right!
18 foreign bowlers invited here this week to the Brunswick Memorial World Open. That gentleman, Mats Carlson of Sweden, our alternate qualifying 6th. Roth has a turkey. In the 4th, up by 11. He scrambled him up, Earl.
As usual, Mark Roth looks extremely strong out there, very aggressive. I talked a little bit earlier with Mark about the fact that he's bowled extremely well in this event, and he's really bowling well right now on the Fall Tour, and I asked him, are you confident? Do you feel you can win today? And this is what Mark said.
I'm really bowling well right now, and I feel if I could get by the first match and get some good breaks today, I might be able to go all the way to the title match and hopefully win today.
As aggressive as Mark is, that didn't sound like he was real confident, did it?
No, well, he told me today he wasn't feeling real well. But imagine the adrenaline's flowing pretty well by this point in the proceedings. Oh, he picks up the spare in the 5th. A lead of 20 for Mark Roth over Bob Learn Jr.
Again, we have a very difficult lane condition here. Crossing lanes, the players had to struggle all week to get lined up or try to find a way where they could be consistent from lane to lane. And because of that, the scores have been low. So you might see some errant shots today. You might see some balls like that one that get away from the player and go through the middle of the head pin, and some buckets, things like that. But it's a difficult lane condition. The scores were low. And I think that's why you'll find that today on the telecast, we won't have big scores. See the ball, the track area is hooking extremely hard. The ball hits that area of the lane, which is around the 3rd arrow on this particular center, and it hooks very sharply through the middle of the head pin. Makes spare shooting very difficult.
Yes, that's exactly been the problem. And Bob told me that one of the keys for him making the telecast is not missing many spares. He does miss that one. Is now down 33 pins. The background noise you hear is Marshall Holman loosening up down to our right. Learn's in trouble.
Little Boo Boo. That's his nickname, Boo Boo.
Boo Boo bangs him down. That's what he did. Very personable young man from Erie, Pennsylvania. As we mentioned, his art talent. There you see Holman the Bowlman loosening up.
And Medford Meteor, one of the finest talents ever to come on the tour. Just for some reason can't seem to get it together to win on television.
This man won last week, and will he do it again this week? Mark Roth, first in earnings with better than $124,000. Third in the 84 average list at 212.496. A lead of 33 by Roth as he bowls in the 7th.
and he just destroyed him. Just destroyed him.
So Roth is in the driver's seat in this first match. Back with more from Glendale Heights, Illinois in a moment.
Test pilot Chuck Yeager for AC Delco.
This flight doesn't get scrubbed for bad weather. A high-performance fighter has the technology to handle it. So does this, the all-weather Delco Freedom Battery, with the power to start you in the cold and the technology to beat the heat. And you never add a drop of water. Never wait for trouble. Get the all-weather Delco Freedom Battery.
From $39.95 for a Series 40, call 800 AC Delco. Strength, pride, tradition. For centuries, the Clydesdales have been known as a special breed. Today, the Clydesdales symbolize Budweiser's dedication to quality, superior ingredients, exclusive beechwood aging, and a distinctively clean, crisp taste only Budweiser can offer. Quality taste, because this Bud's for you.
Today, you need an oil this good. You need Quaker State.
When your engine's this new, you gotta protect your investment. You need an oil this good.
When your engine's this old, it needs extra care. You need an oil this good. Small engines work so hard, they demand an oil this good.
These motor oils are refined exclusively from Pennsylvania-grade crude. Quaker State is so good, it's America's best-selling motor oil.
New cars,
old cars, small cars.
Today, you need Quaker State. You need an oil this good.
With Earl Anthony, Jay Randolph here at the Brunswick Memorial World Open, and we've got 27,000 going for the winner. They're the parents of Bob Learn. That's Bob and Barbara Learn here from Erie, Pennsylvania. And their son is down 43 pins, bowling in the 7th frame.
And you could tell by looking at him that he was down. I think it's harder to watch than it is to perform out there, Jay, because there's so much pressure and there's nothing you can do when you're watching except just pull for him and hope something good happens.
Well, something good happened right there.
It sure did. That's what you call a big break. When the ball gets away from the player, again, because the lane, the track area is hooking so abruptly, the ball broke very sharply to the left, crossed over, and it's a double for Bob Learn. Puts him right back in the match.
He was open in the 5th. But has come back with 2 strikes. As you can see, he's down 33. This has been his best year on the tour. He's always admired Dick Weber and the man he's bowling, Mark Roth. A turkey for Bob Learn, Jr. 23-pin lead for Mark Roth, set to come to the line in the 8th.
Still anybody's game. Mark knows that. He can't afford to make any mistakes at this point. It's getting late in the match. 8th frame for Mark Roth right here. Oh, he looks tough.
Yes, he does. Now part owner of a bowling center in his hometown of Brooklyn, the Rainbow Lanes.
Well, this is how he'll pay for it in a hurry right here, Jay, if he keeps bowling like this.
As you can see, he has strikes in 7 of the 8 frames from Wall Township, New Jersey.
Again, Mark is using 2 different bowling balls today, 1 for each lane. Big break. Mark's happy with that. He may not look it, but he's very happy that he did not get the big split that he could have had the way the ball cut through the middle of the head pin there.
Only 3-time winner on the tour this year. We'll give you a look of our exclusive overhead camera.
See it breaking very sharply through the middle of the head pin. Gets everything down, almost left the 6-7. Ends up with only the 6 pin, cross lane.
And he cuts it down. A 32-pin lead. And for Roth, a possible 258 if he was to go all the way. Learn has a possible 246.
What Bob is hoping for at this point is to throw nothing but strikes the rest of the way, shoot his 246 game, and hope that Mark loses some count on his first ball.
A little high again.
And that's the end of that little story, because Bob Learn is out of the match now. It's all Mark Roth in the first match. We have a winner, Jay.
Roth has really been on a roll as we look again.
He goes to the foul line. Again, the right-hand lane is the lane that hooks the most, lane 22. Watch how abruptly the ball grips the lane, breaks sharply through the middle headpin. 4, 6, 7. Impossible spare, you might say.
For Learn, it's going to be his best payday ever since he's come out on the tour. $5,500 for Bob Learn Jr.
When you consider it's his first time on national television against maybe the greatest bowler in the world at this point, I think he did extremely well, Jay.
There is Mark Roth. Reminder that next week we'll be in Columbus, Ohio at the Columbus Square Bowling Palace, 1 o'clock Eastern Time, the $150,000 Budweiser Classic. Hope you'll join us. And then the following week, we're going to be at the Touring Players Championship down in Charlotte, North Carolina. That also is a 1 o'clock start on December the 1st. Mark Roth advances to match 2. He'll go against Marshall Holman. More in a moment.
Bowling is one of history's most popular sports. Welcome to the National Bowling Hall of Fame located in St. Louis, Missouri. I'm Jack Riker, chairman of the board of Brunswick Corporation. We're proud of over a century of close involvement with bowling, and we are working very hard to have this sport recognized as an official Olympic event. We support the individual's quest for excellence.
Imagine, if you were on the moon, you'd probably be glad to have a big Ford pickup. You'd be happy about Ford's unique independent front suspension while driving over the jagged lunar rocks. You'd enjoy the great power of Ford's choice of V8 and diesel engines, and you'd appreciate the comfort of Ford's roomy cab. And when you know that Ford's F-Series pickups outsell every truck line on this nearby planet, you might say, my Ford truck and me, we can go almost anywhere. The best-built American trucks are built Ford tough.
Mark Roth wins match 1, 246 to 201. Jay Randolph and Earl Anthony with you. Coming up, Roth and Holman. Most people would agree the best 2 right-handers in professional bowling today.
I think best 2 bowlers in the game right now, Jay. Wayne Webb would be in that group, but I think if you took a vote among the players, these are the 2 best. This could be the crucial match of the day because the winner of this could go on very easily and win the tournament.
So there is the way it went in match 1 as Roth wins it 246 to 201. And Roth will take on Marshall Holman in the second match here this afternoon. We'll be back in Glendale Heights, Illinois in a moment.
It's been quite a year.
Mario Andretti flashes past, and Mario Andretti wins the first race at the Meadowlands. An incredible accident, both cars flipping. Another serious accident at the Michigan 500.
Now it's on to Las Vegas. America loves its sports, NBC style.
You're about to see Mark Roth and Marshall Holman. You're going to see Mr. Skidmore and Mr. Albee, and the Player of the Year race is really heating up, Earl.
It is, Jay, and at this point, as you can see, Mark Roth has won 3 times, one of those a major, the U.S. Open. This is what I consider a major, and most of the players consider a major, the World Open. If Gary Skidmore were to win today, they would be equal as far as wins. Anything can happen at this point. We're all the players left on the telecast are outstanding players, and this could be the big one right here, Jay.
Roth is the leading money winner. Holman leads the PBA Tour in average. Tremendous matchup here in this second match this afternoon. A sellout crowd on hand here at the Brunswick Memorial World Open.
Roth, a very, very aggressive player against Marshall Holman, a very emotional player.
Holman starts things with a strike. 30 years old, Jacksonville, Oregon. 17 titles, his 11th year on the tour. Roth hit the pocket 10 of 11 times in his first match. A split for Roth.
It's interesting that Marshall Holman chose to start the match. The reason he did, as we watch Mark go to the foul line, watch how sharply, this again is the new ball he's using. It's not really a ball he's comfortable with yet. He just drilled it today, so he's not really comfortable. He's going to make mistakes with it. He can't afford many mistakes against someone like Marshall Holman. But as I was going to say, Marshall chose to start the match on the left-hand lane. The reason is he feels he's more comfortable on the right-hand lane. In other words, if he starts on the left lane, he gets to finish on lane 22, and he likes that lane better. Back-to-back.
Oh, boy, back-to-back splits here for Mark Roth.
We're going to see him really go for this one, Jay. He has no option now. He must try to convert this split. You'll see a lot of speed, cross lane, and an end-over-end roll. Watch the way his release is. End over end, right at him. Tried to bounce it out of the pit, couldn't do it.
These two tied in match play on Friday with identical scores of 234. Now Roth open in the first two frames. 71st career championship round appearance for Holman.
I talked to Marshall earlier today, and Marshall has won this event twice, the World Open, and I asked him, does the World Open hold a special significance for you?
Well, the World Open certainly does hold a special significance for me for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's getting close to the end of the year. There's a chance for Bowl of the Year honors, and it's a national championship format. It's a very, very big tournament, and I'm looking forward to doing very well.
Marshall finished first in 77, first in 79 here. He was fifth in 1978. Has an early lead over Mark Roth.
Cross lane, the 10-pin. The reason Marshall mentioned the national format, what he meant by that is that there are about 3 or 4 events a year. The players bowl 56 games during the week, starting on Monday, rather than the normal 42-game format, which starts on Wednesday. So it's a longer format, and Marshall likes that, as does Mark Roth and the top players, because the more games they bowl with their talent, they feel they have a better opportunity to win the event. They want to bowl a lot of games. They feel that the better player comes to the top in the longer format. And that's where they're at, right here, the best players. We've definitely got the best ones out there today, Jay.
Yeah, the top 4 here have won a combined 57 PBA titles. Among this fivesome that started play today, Learn, the only one not eligible for next year's Firestone Tournament of Champions. Roth gets back on track.
Mark's normal adjustment there, Jay. Go to the foul line, the same place, look at the same target, loft the ball farther down the lane, a little more speed. There's the strike. Takes a lot of talent. It's a great adjustment to make if you're capable and strong enough to do it.
So after being open in the first and second, Roth comes back with a double. A lead right now of 12 for Marshall Holman. Hope you're enjoying our coverage of the PBA Fall Tour. Back after these messages from your local station.
Mr. Grant, it's none of my business, but you really shouldn't host tonight's Saturday Night Live.
I agree, Mary.
You do?
It's none of your business.
Ah.
We sure got a good deal on those tires. Yes, we did, Emma. I think we raked them over the coals.
Here you are, ladies. Good luck putting them on your car. At Riverside Tire, we won't surprise you. Our costs always include mounting, balancing, and complete servicing. So before you're surprised, come to Riverside Tire, where the service people are ready to help you with your tire needs.
We're going to have a hot time in the old town tonight.
Friends, we don't wait. We're having a gigantic truck sale, and it's going on right now. Riverside, Chrysler Plymouth Dodge in Grants Pass. Now look at this truck. Oh, say, brand new. 1985 Dodge D150 pickup. Guess what, friends? That's the full-size pickup. Oh, $49 down, $199 a month. Now remember, a 5-year, 50,000-mile powertrain warranty goes with that truck. Let's pick up the phone. Let's give us a call, 476-6684.
Night Rider, Sunday nights on KOBI.
From Akron, Ohio, Joe Antonora, and on the left, Bruce Pluckon, who is the curator of the Bowling Hall of Fame in my hometown, St. Louis, Missouri. What a tremendous job they've done there. If you get to St. Louis, just find Busch Stadium and you'll find the Hall of Fame.
That's right. They've done a great job. And right directly behind him, Jay, is Jamie Brooks, who is the current president of the Bowling Proprietors Association of America, doing a great job.
Sellout crowd watching this one between Holman and Roth. And a strike for Holman in the fourth.
Again, they're both very aggressive players. Marshall, obviously, the more emotional player of the two. If he gets it going, we'll see some dancing, we'll see some jumping, we'll see some running it out. And if he ever gets to that match, if he should advance until he's bowling Gary Skidmore, we could see some more of that confrontation they had the last time they bowled, where Gary Skidmore won the championship. And they almost had some fisticuffs. Marshall is bowling well.
He really is, and he has a very bad thumb. Thumb was really giving him a problem. We'll look at this again, a head-on view of Holman as he comes to the line.
Look at the rhythm, the loft. Again, he plays a lot like Marshall, like Mark Roth does with the loft and speed adjustments. Here comes Mark. See the speed and loft.
Oh, he got a tough break there.
Both players bowling extremely well, making the adjustments that are necessary as the lanes change, and they will change. Here he goes.
Really attacks it, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. See the tremendous lift and leverage and loft to get the ball down the lane. Easy spare, cross lane for Mark.
Holman and Roth are doubles partners on many occasions.
They are, and they are the defending champions. They'll be back again this coming year in Las Vegas for the PBA Doubles Championship, and it's a very formidable team. There aren't many players that have a chance against a team like Mark Roth and Marshall Holman.
Later today on Sports World from Las Vegas, the final chapter of the 84 kart IndyCar season. Left to 10.
Mark still trying to make adjustments. He's not happy with the ball reaction. Watch the power. Look how many steps. 4, 5, 6. Tremendous lift and leverage. And the ball comes, see it spinning as it breaks into the track area, breaks sharply, but not sharp enough to kick the 10 out. A little bit behind the head pin. He'll go cross lane, be easy spare for Mark. He's one of the finer spare shooters on the tour.
Holman has a 34-pin lead. There were no 300 games rolled in this tournament, Earl. The only other event this year where there were no 300 games was in Buffalo.
Yes, as we talked about earlier, Jay, it's a very difficult scoring condition this week, especially pair-to-pair. The players have had to struggle.
Holman with a strike. Marshall averaged 198 on the pair lanes this week. His high game was 259, and Holman now with 4 in a row in the 7th, getting set to go, up by 44 pins. 17 tour titles for Marshall Holman. Here's the way they've stacked up in championship play this year.
That's tremendous. Mark Roth has made 9 top 5 telecasts this year. Marshall Holman right behind him with 8. And when you consider the number of tournaments these players have bowled in, that's an outstanding record. Mark Roth.
Holman is really on a roll. Oh, we'll take time out here as Holman has the lead over Roth.
Ever noticed how much Ford LTD owners like their cars?
From Marshall Holman, but that thumb is in rough shape. He's got new skin and plaster and everything else. Kind of built his thumb here today.
These players that really hit the ball. Remember when Mark Roth told us last week about ripping the cover off? Well, that's what they try to do. And that's what happens to that thumb. They do that while their thumb is still in the ball. They rotate around the side of the ball. It creates all that tear and wear on that thumb. And it looks like that when they're finished. Now, looks like Mark's in a lot of problems right here. He's still trying to adjust with that new ball to the right-hand lane 22, which hooks the most. And as you can see, it breaks very sharply. Got a good break, didn't leave the 4-7-10.
picks up the 4-7. But Holman is very, very much in command here.
And a tough man to beat. Marshall's always been a little bit of a front runner. If he gets out in front of a match, Jay, he's very, very hard to catch because he just keeps applying the pressure. He doesn't let up. And he's in that position right now to just run away and bury Mark Roth.
Roth getting the strike in the 8th. Gary Skidmore, who qualified first here, loosening up. And that's Mike Albee down there on the right with Bob Learn in the blue, who you saw earlier today.
Comparing notes a little bit.
Holman going to be too tough for Roth. Seven out of 8 strikes for Holman.
When you consider that Mark Roth won last week on Saturday afternoon, had to be here on Sunday to go directly into this event, which is a week-long tournament starting with the Pro-Am and practice on Sunday, the very next day, I think he's a little tired. Mark's getting up there a little, Jay. He's an old man like me.
Well, I'll tell you, Holman is sizzling here. You know, the Pro-Am portion of this year's event, again, was a sellout. There were 366 area amateurs bowling with the pros here this week. The Brunswick Memorial World Open. It's been a tremendous success.
Well, Mark's in a position where if he gets 3 strikes in the 10th, he can go out for 214. And the match is over, basically, Jay. We have a winner in Marshall Holman.
Right. Holman has a possible 280 if he would go all the way. Joe Norris, one of the truly great men of bowling, has been honored here this week. There he is. And he'll be the subject of Earl's Corner coming up. So it is Marshall Holman moving on. Holman defeating Roth in rather easy fashion here this afternoon. Back with more in just a moment.
Give me a light. Clear that this house is built with high-quality building products. Observe Exhibit A, the pink attic blanket insulation from Owens Corning, the most powerful roll of thermal protection you can buy. Follow me. Exhibit B, long-lasting roof shingles with a heart of pink fiberglass, again from Owens Corning. And attractive, easy-to-install Owens Corning fiberglass ceiling panels. Yeah! Finally, the high-quality Owens Corning tub shower. Its slip-resistant surface has a... excusez-moi, a pink panther?
Owens Corning. Our building products put your house in the pink.
A November to remember. New England. New coach Raymond Berry has plenty to be thankful for, including super quarterback Champagne Tony Eason. A November to remember. Dallas. Coach Landry's Cowboys serve up turkey and football, Texas style.
The Patriots battle the Cowboys. Thanksgiving Day, the NFL plays here.
My team plays here.
Welcome back to the Brunswick Northern Bowl and the PBA Fall Tour action. Marshall Holman. 280. That is the highest game on live television this year. This is him finishing up that 280. We had a 299 by Bob Handley last week that was not live on our show, but we did show you the highlights of it from Dearborn Heights. So Marshall Holman, very, very hot here as he is getting set to move on against Mike Albee. And coming up, Earl Anthony visits with Joe Norris.
Joe. With
With me today, a very special guest, Hall of Famer Joe Norris. Joe, in 1936 in Berlin, Germany, you bowled in a very special event during the Olympic Games. Tell us about bowling and what you think it should do as far as being an Olympic sport is concerned.
Well, I think the bowling belongs in Olympic sport because there's so many young people that go to college, can't compete in the various sports like football, baseball, stuff like that. And here's a game that, regardless of the weight, size, they can compete. And it's something for the junior rank to look forward of someday competing in the Olympic Games.
I think that's great. I think that's a good idea. That's something that definitely should be done. Joe, you're 76 years old. You bowled in this tournament this week, the Brunswick Memorial World Open, and you did really well. How do the bowlers of today compare to the bowlers of 30, 40 years ago?
Well, I think I've been had a chance to see all the bowlers for many, many years. I think if the bowlers of the old days would bowl under these conditions, they'd be able to adapt themselves. And I think the pros of today, if they were bowling in the old days, would be able to adapt to
so
our
similar
conditions.
skills.
Yes.
They're all pretty much,
yes.
Okay, I agree. They're great athletes.
Yeah.
One other thing, Joe, before we go away. You know, you're a senior citizen. What do you think about the seniors getting out and enjoying this great game?
Well, you know, for 2 years I worked on senior promotion, and once we get the seniors into the bowling establishment, they are very happy. It helps them physically, as far as bursitis and arthritis. It's a mild form of exercise, and the seniors, once they start, they love it.
They love it. That's right. I agree, Joe. Thank you for being my guest today. We've enjoyed having you, and good luck in the future.
Well, thank you.
Joe Norris.
Joe Norris, 75 years young. What a gentleman.
A great guy, and he's a lot of fun to talk to. I enjoyed that little bit with him. He's going to go out and he's going to promote bowling all over the world. You know that, Jay. He's a fantastic guy.
There is Jack Reichert, the chairman of the board of Brunswick Corporation, a man who, along with so many of us who are involved in bowling, are hopeful of bowling becoming an Olympic sport, maybe in 1988 in Seoul, Korea.
I sure hope so, Jay, because I think it's a worldwide enough sport that all the countries could compete and enjoy it very much. I'd like to see it be a demonstrative sport or demonstration sport in 1988 and maybe be a medal sport in 1992. That would be fantastic.
Remember, next Saturday, the $150,000 Budweiser Classic will come your way from Columbus Square Bowling Palace, Columbus, Ohio, and then on December the 1st at 1 Eastern Time, the $150,000 Angle Touring Players Championship will be down at George Pappas's Park Lane, Charlotte, North Carolina. Joe Norris visiting with Jack Reichert there. 1 o'clock Eastern Time for our final two PBA Tour events on NBC this winter, and 12 o'clock out on the coast. Well, Holman with that 280. Hit the pocket 12 out of 12 times. He left the 10-pin. Strikes in the pocket 11 of 12. He was really humming along.
He was definitely humming along, and I don't see where it's going to get any easier for Mike Albee this game.
In match 3, Holman, who has defeated Mark Roth, goes against Mike Albee. And of course, this is Mike's third championship round appearance in the last 4 weeks, his 4th overall. And he won in his hometown of Indianapolis, Indiana. Hope you all are watching there this afternoon. And he qualified second with a 211.2 tournament average. Albee to start things off. His high game 279 this week. He averaged 197 on the TV pairs. The left-hander. He took the outside route and left the 7-pin.
Yes. If you noticed earlier when Mike Albee was playing on the telecast the last 3 or 4 weeks, he's playing between the 2nd and 3rd arrow on the left side. This particular week, because of the surface, because of the way the ball is reacting on the lane surface, Mike is playing an extreme outside angle. He's playing near the channel on the left, about the 3 board. So if you count it in from the channel, that would be about 3 inches from the edge of the lane, and that's a very critical angle. Cross lane at the 7-pin. Mike makes that.
5'8", 145 pounds. Albee going against Marshall Holman, who defeated Mark Roth 280 to 214 in match number 2.
Let's see if he can maintain his momentum, Jay, because that's such a big thing. You bowl against someone of the talent of a Mark Roth. It's easy to have a letdown after getting so pumped up. Oh, my. He's ready.
Holman moving right along, opens with a strike.
Marshall led the tournament going into the last game of the evening last night, the position round match. Bowled a 140 something in that neighborhood, 144 or something like that, and fell out of first all the way to third.
11 consecutive strikes for Marshall Holman, who has found a home right now on 21 and 22. Left the 10.
Been a lot of that this week, a lot of 10 pins. I'm surprised the players are hitting the pocket as well as they are. All week long, it's been difficult to keep the ball in play. Watch as Marshall goes to the foul line. A lot of leverage. See his wrist go around the side of the ball to get all that turn on the back. Watch the ball break sharply into the pins, but late. Behind the head pin, that's the reason for the 10 pin.
Later this afternoon, Sports World. And you'll see the CART Las Vegas Grand Prix. Holman with a spare in the second. Marshall led after the 6th round, lost that lead last night to Gary Skidmore. Skidmore qualifying first will meet the winner of this match. Albee, his wife Tammy sitting in on the proceedings here this afternoon.
See how far out he is, Jay?
Yes, indeed. And he makes it happen. There's his lovely wife, Tammy.
Big smile. I don't blame her. Makes you nervous watching that ball go out near the channel. A slight error, and he doesn't get any of them. Earlier today, I talked to Mike Albee about how well he's been bowling. He's been the hottest player on the tour this fall. And I asked him, are you thinking about a possibility of being bowler of the year at this point?
It's been a very good year for me, but I never think of bowler of the year or any such goals because I feel if I set goals too high, then they're too far to reach and it's unrealistic. I never set goals too low because you have to be realistic with yourself. I just go out and try to win everything I can.
A double for Albee. You know, he tells me early he just wants to be consistent week to week and win as many titles as he can. I guess that's all right.
I would say that's a pretty good goal. That's a pretty good thing to set for yourself. Very talented player in Mike Albee. He's going to win a lot of titles, a lot of championships before he quits this game. All right, the lanes are changing just a little bit, and they will as the players continue to play on them. And Marshall's ball, last frame, he was a little bit behind the head pin as he increased the speed, left the 10 pin. This ball breaks a little earlier than he wants it to. You'll see it start to hook right there, breaks sharply toward the pocket. There's the 4 pin. Easy spare for Marshall. Go right at it.
Want to mention again that Skidmore, Albee, Holman, and Roth all have chances at winning this year's Sporting News PBA Player of the Year honors.
That's right. Marshall and Gary Skidmore both are in the running. I would say that with 3 wins, of course, Mark Roth is the leader at this point, and Albee also has the opportunity to be Bowler of the Year because we still have 2 events left, Jay, and anything can happen, especially since one of them is the Touring Players Championship in Charlotte, North Carolina.
A split problem for Marshall. He was really on a roll. We'll give you a view from our innovative overhead camera right there.
Directly through the center of the head pin. Doesn't get the break this time that the players have been getting, and he leaves the 6, 7, 10. He'll go cross lane, try to get the 6 pin to slide into the 7. The ball will take out the 10. Good try. Very close. That's what happened to Marshall last night in the position round game when he got trouble with a lot of splits.
Holman is open in the 4th. Albee up by 26. More bowling action in a moment.
Which of these well-known cars requires less scheduled maintenance? Observe. Honda Accord requires 58 separate scheduled maintenance operations. Nissan Sentra does a little better with 54. And Ford Escort, only 20. So the message is really quite clear. If you own a Ford Escort, you'll spend more time on the road and less time up in the air. Have you driven the best-built American cars? Have you driven a Ford lately?
We got what it takes, true value.
Save now on their hardware value of the month. In November, it's the Carroll Cable retractable reel light for only $10.88. The reel holds a 20-foot cord so you can put the light where you need it. And it also includes a convenient side outlet to plug in a power tool. During November, get the Carroll Cable retractable reel light for just $10.88. Look for the Hardware Value of the Month banner at participating True Value hardware stores and home centers.
Where are you hurting the most, Jimmy?
Name it. Let's straighten up.
Yeah, we don't want to disappoint your fans.
No. Hey, Jimmy, good run. You had him right from the gate.
Your best deserves the best.
Two Bud Lights.
The less filling light beer with a first name in taste.
Hey, Jimmy!
Right.
Bud Light.
And this is what the players have looked at a lot this week, Jay. The big splits, the 6, 7, 10. He's trying to get the ball to go just nick that 6 pin into the 7. He missed it, got the 10 pin. It's been a lot of splits this week, a lot of tough spares, and spares have been the key to who could make the telecast and be on our championship round this afternoon.
Hope you'll join us on NBC Sports tomorrow, an NBC doubleheader, National Football League action. Check your local listings.
Albee in the 4th frame. Big
3
break.
in a row for Albee.
Big break there, Jay. He got the ball extremely wide on the lane surface. He came in behind the head pin, but because of the angle, he got the head pin to go to the wall and take out the bucket, which was what he could have left on that shot.
And in your 7 steps to better bowling today, step 5 has to do with lane conditions. Did you plan it that way with this situation here today?
And we're going to talk about how to adjust to the varying lane conditions by changing speed, lift, and loft, and I think it's an adjustment that almost anybody could learn to do, as these players do right here. They do a lot of that.
From way out to way in. 4 in a row for Albee.
He has been so tough this fall tour. He's made over $34,000 already on the fall. Chance to get another 27 here. 32,000 on the fall tour.
He's kind of dominated things. The Texan Charlie Lacey right up there. He had that big win, of course, in Cleveland. Marshall Holman with a strike in the 5th. You see Roth, Brian Voss, the young man from out in Seattle, Washington. Bellinger with 13,650.
But Albee has just been really dominant on the fall tour, and he's bowling so well. Marshall has a long way to come back, but he's very capable. Very much a strike bowler. Throws a lot of strikes. Just like that.
Well, that's why he's averaged 213.988 over the year. He is the top man in the average department for 1984. And Holman now with the double. And Albee leading by 36. And you see Marshall looking at those fingers of his there in rather ripped up condition, to say the least.
A lot of bowling. He's been doing a lot of bowling. And, you know, when you talk about averages, these players bowl close to 1,000 games in competition in 1 year's time.
Here's a fellow who really had a bad year on the tour last year, who has come right back and shown what you can do with a little work and perseverance.
He's extremely talented, Jay. If anybody can play any lane surface out there that's left-handed, this is the guy you look for. Mike Albee can adjust to the varying lane conditions. He can play from the extreme inside condition, the middle of the lane, in other words, to right out to the very edge, as he's showing us today, playing that 3rd board near the channel and coming very close to getting it in the channel. And that's where he wants it. He wants to hang it on the edge. Now watch right near the channel. When he lays the ball down, he'll go out near the channel, right near the edge.
Oh. And a split for Albee. After 5 strikes. A problem for him here in the 7th.
A breath of air, a little bit of oxygen for Marshall Holman, puts him back in the match. After 5 in a row, Albee with the big split. He's going to go for 2. He just wants to take the 4-7. He doesn't want to miss it. The count is important.
So, Albee is open in the 7th. The lead is 28. And we'll be right back after these messages from your local station.
Is America still the land of opportunity? Today's immigrants tell personal stories of their search for dignity, freedom, and success. Thanksgiving week on all NBC News programs.
That's right, friends. This is the place right here for the big, big discounts. Riverside, Chrysler, Plymouth, Dodge, and Grants Pass. Look at this unit. 1980 Jeep CJ5, 4-speed transmission, power steering. You drive this unit home today. $5,488. Let's pick up the phone and let's call the hottest number in town, 476-6684, or we'll see you here.
With a win today, Mike Albee would top the $100,000 mark for 1984. Mike and his wife Tammy right there, and there's the money list. Roth up on top, followed by Petey Weber, Ricky Sajak, Marshall Holman, George Pappas, and Gary Skidmore.
And a win today for Skidmore would put him right behind Mark Roth in the money standings, and it'd be his 3rd win of the year, and he's our tournament leader today. So it can get very exciting as we come down to the last 2 matches of the Brunswick Memorial World Open.
Holman with a strike after not cashing in this year's first 2 tournaments. He ran off a string of 22 straight tournaments where he cashed.
And that's consistency, and that shows a lot of talent. A lot of talent, Jay, because it's difficult when you consider the fact that they're bowling on a different center every week on a different pair of lanes every game.
We've got the CART Las Vegas Grand Prix coming up, along with women's bodybuilding for you on Sports World this afternoon. That will follow the PBA Fall Tour action from here in Illinois. I'll tell you, he is battling back.
And he's in it.
And Albee's lead has been cut to 8. 4 in a row for Marshall Holman.
He started tough the first part of the game. He's made the adjustments and the speed, the release he wants. He likes it. Watch Marshall's reaction. Yes. He's into it now. We're going to see a lot of that this afternoon, especially if he gets to Gary Skidmore, if he should win this match.
So it is an 8-pin lead for Albee. Player of the Year honors, average honors, money-winning honors. As we come down to the wire in this one, and then don't forget our next 2 tournaments will be at 1 Eastern time and 12 noon on the West Coast. We'll be in Columbus, Ohio next week, and the following Saturday in Charlotte, North Carolina. Gary Skidmore, who qualified first, waiting in the wings. Will it be Albee or Holman who he faces? Oh boy, Albee feels it now. These 2 have really warmed to the task, Earl.
Both emotional players, Jay, both really getting into it now. Coming down to the crucial 9th frame, Albee on a strike. Now it's up to Holman. He's bowled through 8 frames. He's 18 pins behind. He must strike in the 9th to stay in the match.
Albee could go all the way for a 252. Holman is down 18.
But it's not over yet, Jay.
No.
It's not over. It was a crucial shot for Marshall. He didn't get it. He liked the shot. He threw it well. I thought it was a good shot. I think the planes are changing more drastically than he expects. He got a break. He didn't split. He makes the spare.
Just did make that 6-10.
Now here's what it looks like right now. The maximum that Marshall Holman can bowl is 222, and that's what he needs to do. He has to strike out in the 10th frame right now, 3 strikes, and then it's up to Albee. Albee going right now at a 232 clip. If he should not mark in the 10th, he would lose. So what Marshall must do is get all 3 strikes and hope that by some fortunate thing, Mike Albee would open. Fortunate for Holman, unfortunate for Albee.
Albee and Holman, and a real toughie here.
He must have this one, Jay. Marshall Holman has to have this strike to have any chance at all.
And then he's got to hope for misfortune to come upon Mike Albee, of course.
Looking for his 3rd World Open title. Can Holman pull it out here? Left the 10.
Great shot, too, Jay. This spun that 10-pin right around. Well, we have a winner in Mike Albee. And he'll be bowling Gary Skidmore.
So for Holman, a score of 212. Mike Albee advancing to the title match, and he'll be going against Gary Skidmore, the young man from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Pizza Hut brings you the 7 steps to enjoying this uninterrupted coverage of our final match here in the Brunswick Memorial World Open that comes your way from Glendale Heights, Illinois.
Skidmore's strength is such a big key on a lane surface such as this. He's actually overpowering the surface of the lane. Tremendous speed. Trouble.
And he knew he was in trouble.
You got that? And his reaction was, my elbow got out. He knew that, and when your elbow goes out to the right, it doesn't stay behind the ball. The tendency is for the ball to go left. Watch his release. You get around the side of the ball with his elbow too soon. He knew it. The ball broke early, went left. And his reaction was, oh, I did it again. That's a common error when you're trying to throw the ball hard, is to get your elbow out to the right. Cross lane, the baby split, fit it between them.
Oh, he did it. Nice job by Skidmore. Gary has never won from the top-seeded position. He was top-seeded 2 times this year. He lost the AC Delco Classic in Alameda and the Northern Ohio Open in Cleveland. And there you see the career PBA titles of fellas in action here this afternoon.
Chance for Mike Albee to get back in the match here, down by 30. He
liked that one. 2 in a row for Albee.
He's obviously made the adjustment, Jay. He's back on track. He's getting the break point he wants. Again, the players that bowl on the tour, in most cases, they can find a way to get the ball in the pocket. But what they want to do is strike. And that's determined by where the ball breaks on the lane. And that's what Albee's adjusting. He's using speed or rotation, one or the other, to make the ball break at a different point so that he can strike rather than leave the 7-pin. A lot of talent, tremendous talent.
Oh, he got it there. He is really using that outside edge, Earl.
He is, and he's really a competitor, as you can see. As he releases this shot, still playing that extreme angle. He knows he rolled it well. He's running it out. He's gone.
Where did he go? There he is. Wife Tammy sitting in there with him. 10-point lead for Skidmore.
It's trouble. Gary looks like he's starting to aim the ball now. He came out firing. Now he's starting to try to be too careful, I think, Jay. And when you get careful, you get in trouble. You've got to let it go. You got to let it happen.
He leaves the 3-6-10 here.
He's trying to be too careful. He's trying to steer the ball, and he's going to get in trouble. He's got to loosen up and just let it go and do what he does best, and that's just throw bullets.
Bang. Tomorrow at 12:30 Eastern Time, you'll want to join NFL 84 and host Bob Costas and all the crew, and then a doubleheader of NFL action for you tomorrow. Hope you'll be watching some of the games that we have tomorrow. Seattle at Cincinnati, New England's at Indianapolis. Mike Albee told me he'd be there for that one. Miami at San Diego, very attractive affair. It'd be interesting to see how the Raiders do. They've been in a lot of trouble lately, so check your local listings for the game in your area.
Trouble. Oh boy.
Oh, and this could tighten up now as Skidmore has got his hands full. Again, an exclusive feature of these telecasts, the overhead look.
It's a break sharply into the middle of the head pin. He leaves the 4-7, 4-6-7. He's going to throw it as hard as he can. Now watch to try to bounce the pins out.
Ooh, he came very close to turning the trick there.
All right, we've got a new leader in this match. Albee goes to 7 pins ahead at this point. Watch how hard he throws this. Extremely hard. The ball hardly turning over. It's going so fast. Pin goes to the back, almost out, almost made it. Extremely difficult spare. Albee with a chance to take a big lead at this point, Jay, with only 3 frames to play after this shot.
That 10 pin to go down. Skidmore is a very dejected gentleman. As I said, he has never won from the top.
He's never won, but watch Mike. He's playing, again, that extreme outside angle. When he lets go of the ball, he knows it's good. He's saying, come on now. Got it. But it's not over. We're only in the 7th frame. Albee has a 17-pin lead with 3 frames to play. And anything can happen. 3 frames, bowling for a championship.
Sherry Skidmore taking a look at the action here.
Boy, Albee jumped about 5 feet in the air on that one.
Yes, he did. He's excited, and he's exciting to watch. Perfect style of Mike Albee, the big turn and lift. He likes it, and he's way up in the air.
Boy, oh boy. Now something has bothered Skidmore.
The reaction of the crowd a little bit, I think, to our replay there.
Yeah, they have some monitors here that they are able to see. And
Gary will take his time and get set. Take a deep breath. He's still not out of this match. Possible 241 game for Gary Skidmore. More speed. Much more speed.
A strike in the 8th for Skidmore.
That little period in the middle, he started with 4 in a row. That 5th, 6th, and 7th frame where he got careless, got lazy, whatever you want to call it, got too careful. It could have cost him the championship, but Gary never gives up. Again, he can just overpower the lanes. That one he got down there like he did in the first 4 frames. He's got to continue to do that.
Skidmore defeated Holman 203 to 144 in the position round here last night. Take over first place. Well, he hangs in here with strikes in the 8th and 9th. And Albee with a 17-pin lead going to the 9th.
Albee's bowling at a 238 clip. Skidmore can still shoot 241, so it's not over yet, Jay. Anything can happen as he goes into the 9th frame. Albee on a strike, looking for a re-rack. He doesn't like the way the pins look at this point.
Harry Golden, the tournament director, man who does a remarkable job.
Albee's had his 3rd re-rack, so the rules state that at this point, if he wants another one, it's up to the tournament director, and that's why you saw Mr. Golden on the screen. He was looking to make sure that, indeed, the pins were off spot. He granted the re-rack, and Mike is ready to bowl in the 9th frame. Going at a 238 clip. Could extend his lead to plus 27 with a strike here.
Six in a row now for Albee. He started this string in the 4th. He has a possible 268. Skidmore with a possible 241.
Right now, Mike Albee going at a 248 clip. What he's looking to do is get any kind of a mark. If he marks in the 10th frame, and he's finishing now, he's finishing first, any kind of a mark, and this match is over. All he needs is mark and decent count.
Albee led after the first 2 rounds.
If he strikes, it's over, Jay. If he spares and gets a decent count, it's all over. And the Brunswick Memorial World Open Championship to Mike Albee. What a great fall. What a great fall tour.
He has had some kind of fall tour. He stepped out here along with our NBC crew and has had a lot of fun, I'll tell you.
Doesn't matter now.
Doesn't matter a bit.
Doesn't matter a bit. We have a winner in Mike Albee.
Well, it's going to be
253. Mike Albee has won this Brunswick Memorial World Open. And a congratulatory hug right there. Back to talk with the winner in just a moment.
If you think bowling is still in the dark ages, think again. Introducing Brunswick's Color Vision Plus, the automatic scorer system that lets you see your scores in 7 exciting colors. See your spares, your strikes, even your turkeys flash on the overhead screen. See yourself in instant replay. See for yourself just how much more fun the sport of bowling can be with Brunswick's Color Vision Plus. Brunswick, making bowling better.